All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm very excited. We have Kiran Kaur here, and Kiran lives in BC, and she's a real estate investor. And we have a great time hanging out and learning from each other. And we're here to share and learn and bring you our knowledge that we have and bring you along with this journey. So great to see you, Kiran. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. And it has been a pleasure meeting other investors like you and learning and sharing our knowledge and also sharing our experience.
Now, Kiran, tell everybody what part of BC are you from?
I live in Richmond, and it's a really beautiful day today. And yeah, it's a really nice, it's beautiful British Columbia.
Awesome. It is beautiful. Irismar and I had been there our first time last year and we love it. We went twice, I think. We went to Kelowna and to Coquitlam. So it was
Oh,
very
nice.
beautiful. Yeah, we love it. And the people are beautiful there. Very nice. Now, how long have you been in BC?
We moved a year and a half ago, and I think we are never gonna leave BC. This feels like home, and we are really enjoying our stay here.
Well, and where were you before that?
We were in Saskatchewan. So originally, I came from India as a student, and I am a nurse by profession. So we got our immigration and permanent residency done in Saskatchewan. So we were living in Saskatchewan for about like 7 years, and yeah.
Wow. I mean, Saskatchewan is a beautiful place. Irismar, we drove across the countries on the way to BC, so we did see Saskatchewan. It's beautiful. But Saskatchewan doesn't seem like the place for somebody new to the country that's going to settle down for 7 years. How did you find it in Saskatchewan?
I feel like it's a really easy to find jobs, and when you're starting out, when you're looking for affordable housing and we're looking for like less expenses, this is a really great place to start. And people have been living there for a long time, and people are friendly and easy to get to work. And we yeah I still love Saskatchewan. Yeah, we have
N-
yeah.
Now, was that one of the first places in Canada that you invest in real estate?
Yes, yeah, we bought our first house in 2015, and that was, I think, month after after we got our permanent residency. It was a detached house, and the basement was not done. And over time, we finished the basement. We did, like framing, and we gone through the process of hiring a electrician, getting quotes from different people. We had a plumber, and then we finished the drywall and mud tape and flooring and all our own. So we were really proud of ourselves. Then after it was finished, then we rented out to the students. So that was really great.
Oh, wow. Okay, it was student rental. So there's a strong student population in Saskatchewan.
Yes, so University of Saskatchewan is, and there is a Sask Polytech, so and also some other colleges. So you get students from throughout the country who go there and study. So yeah, we had I think like a lot of people are afraid of students. It's you really need to know your like how to manage like property management. Like we had students which were engineering students, so like they were like mechanical engineer students, like some were doing trades. So they were working and they were studying. So they were really, really nice tenants. So I loved, having them as my tenants. Yeah.
Wow, I think I do know that people do scare away from student rentals. I think if you, like you said, if you attract the right type of students and know what you're doing, have an idea and have a vision of what you're doing, I think it can work out very well and be a very lucrative business model for people. But also you're providing safe and secure housing for students, which is
Mhm.
something that they usually don't take for granted. Well, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And then you would see yourself too, right? Like I was a student one time, and I was like, I feel like I was a good tenant. So I don't know what the landlord's gonna say, but pay your rent on time, because you don't want to get kicked out middle of your midterm exams, and you want to do your work and then go to work and study, and that's it. So you're not partying. And yeah, so those are the kind of tenants we look for. Yeah.
Well, I have a surprise for you. I actually have your landlord from your old apartment on the other Zoom, so we can bring them in. No, I'm just joking, but maybe for the maybe for the next show we can do that
Yes,
and see how good of a tenant you were.
yeah.
Oh, but that's great. Since Irismar and I joined real estate investing, Saskatchewan really wasn't mentioned, I don't think at all. I think I heard it once. And it seems lately I hear Saskatchewan so much, and especially in the past 9 months, I would have to
Mhm.
say, I hear a lot of people that are investing in Saskatchewan, and they're having great success there in terms of rental. So, and other than the students, what else is the tenant profile like?
So you get like mining industries, and you have agriculture industry. Then other tenants are, some are nurses. A lot of nurses are doing travel nursing there, so you can rent out to travel nurses, or like the doctors and the residents. Like somebody from, a lot of my like colleague doctors, they were from BC, and they were doing their residency program, which is like 7-8 year course, and they're going to be staying in like around the hospital or anywhere, like good areas of Saskatoon, and they pay like good rent. So different kind of like healthcare is one sector. You have the mining and the trades people, and so different kind of profile, like than students, of course. Yeah.
And the only town I think that comes to mind, I think of Saskatchewan, is Saskatoon. Are there any other major cities
Regina,
there?
Regina,
Regina.
yes, Regina is a really good town too. Then there's Yorkton and Moose Jaw, and all those towns have really like good inventory for multifamily. There's like a lot of options for land development. We have a lot of raw land we can develop, and just around Saskatoon, there's like Martinsville and Warman and Osler, and there's another big town like Prince Albert. So all those towns are growing, and they're going out. So anywhere somebody looking to invest, they have a lot of options.
Wow, okay. Um, Now you guys started off in Saskatchewan and you moved out to BC. Were you worried at all about leaving behind your asset, or did you sell it, or did you keep it, or what happened when you moved to BC?
So we sold the one, the detached garage where we did our basement, and then we bought another house when the rates were like really really low, and we have like upstairs rented out to students again, and then downstairs are out like they're truck drivers, my tenants, and they're really like amazing tenants, and we keep them happy too. So it goes both ways. So we sold one house, and then we still have one house in Saskatoon. And so we have tradespeople lined up who, if we need anything, we call them, and they take care of anything that needs to be done. And like every few months, and my like a contractor guy, he comes in and do the inspection, and like make sure everything is good, like yeah.
Now, a lot of new investors, including when Irismar and I first started off, we wanted to stay focused in our own backyard, so to speak. We wanted to stay in an area that we could drive to, we could see our building or our house. And we were nervous about, even within the same province, if it was, over 7 or 8 hours away, it would be like, oh my gosh, that's, how we can't do that. We can't manage that. And that's a lot of what new investors think. But then when you start getting educated and learning about different markets and the opportunities in those markets and what you can do for tenants in those markets, it becomes a lot more appealing. Now, did you have any fear at all when you were leaving your baby and behind in Saskatchewan and you're moving to BC? Was there any fear of what would happen to your asset?
So we know that we are going to invest where we are going to get best return of our investment, right? And we had people who we can trust, and tradespeople and the contractors and our own friend circle is there in Saskatoon, and who can help out. And for as for the listing goes, like there's like a lot of demand, very low vacancy rate. There's like when you post on an ad, you get tons of messages, and it's really really easy, to find tenants, and yeah.
I always find it interesting because in different provinces, it's like different social media uh, or others platforms work best. And I mean, in Ontario, I think a lot of people use Facebook Marketplace in order to place an ad. But I hear sometimes in these other towns, especially in the prairies or on the East Coast, they're still using maybe Craigslist or Kijiji. Is that the case that you're finding out there?
Yes, yeah, and for us, it has been like most of the time just word of mouth. Like my friend, I will say my tenant is moving out, and then my one of my friend will just call. We have somebody looking, and is your place available? Then we'll do the tenant profile looking, and we will do go through the selection process, and then we'll end up renting them out. We'll
Oh, we
go
just
through the
had you.
lease process, and so Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, yeah, and so those are like other tools, and there are also property managers who can help you out to find good tenants, and realtors are really good, tool. We can use that. Somebody looking, and like realtors are in contact with people, like coming in, they're looking for a place, somebody just sold their place and they're looking for rental, yeah.
Yes, and I think so I think what some of the message that we wanted to get across in doing this episode today was just letting people know that to step outside of your zone, your comfort zone. Sometimes we need to get uncomfortable
Mm.
in order to grow. And the key to a strong portfolio is diversification. And you want to look outside what is just what's in your neighborhood. So out of province, there's a lot of benefits, and we're talking about some of the benefits in Alberta too.
Mhm.
Alberta is very affordable right now, and very low tax rate and
Landlord friendly.
landlord friendly. And when we say landlord friendly, I just want to make it clear, it's not that we're looking for a the landlord to have an iron fist. It's that just as we are owners of an asset, the community that Kiran and I are part of and our broader community, a lot of us really want to make sure that we're doing right. We're doing right by the city, we're doing right by the tenants, and we're doing right by the community. We want to provide something that we feel safe and secure in because it could be our friends, our family that are renting in these places. So it's we're looking for some balance. And in Alberta, they provide some balance there for landlords, and it's a little bit easier of a market to invest in. I mean, uh, than some of the other provinces. So it's a great opportunity to invest in and try to make life better for the people that live there as well.
And there's like a lot of inventory sitting. So when you look at other provinces, like price per unit is high, and when you look at supply for demand, so we have a lot more options in Alberta. So that's what one of the market we are pursuing right now, and we are doing land development just outside Calgary in Strathmore area, and so this is like I really like the place, and this is really great, amazing project, and we're really excited about. So
Yeah, one thing just going to see if I can bring it up here. Now, I mentioned this before. That doesn't seem to be the screen. So are we, what screen are we looking at there? Apologies. There we go. So here we are. We're looking at Edmonton. Can you see that there?
yes, I can see that.
Yeah. So this is the corridor here. We see Calgary down at the bottom and Edmonton's up top. I think that's about a 2.5 hour drive, Kieran, is
Yeah,
it?
yes,
In between?
I yes, yeah.
In between, and you've got Red Deer right there in the middle.
Mhm.
And CMHC came out with their annual report, and as immigration is going to benefit Canada, they said that this corridor in particular, all of Canada, the Edmonton and Calgary corridor is going to benefit the most from the immigration population. So for those watching, I mean, Kieran's already given it away that they're focusing in the Calgary area. Alberta is a great place to invest and a great place to live. It's beautiful. The city's vibrant, got a lot of energy there, but then you also have the mountains and the outdoors and the lakes. It's really is a beautiful place.
And this
Uh,
is like amazing, really great time to look at like Leduc when you go, other like along the highway, Millet and Panoka, Red Deer, Innisfall, Bowden, Crossville, Adrie, Cochrane. When like inner city, you have a lot of options, but sometimes it's what do you call like more investors looking. There's like backup offers, there are more offers on the same listing, and price per unit is a little bit high, and then all these towns where nobody else is looking right now, which will be growing more because people are going to work in the inner city, but they can live nearby, and they can drive to the secondary markets and tertiary markets. Is also is a great strategy.
well, and I mean, when you're looking at this map as well, for people that haven't been to Alberta, there's a lot of familiar names here, of course, other than the three main ones that are pointing out on this corridor here. But we also have Banff, at Banff National
Mm-hmm.
Park, which is where those beautiful mountains are that I was talking about.
Canmore is good. Yes, yeah.
Canmore right there, which is a cheaper place to invest than Banff, but still beautiful and lots of mountains. And then over here you have Jasper National Park, closer up to the Edmonton way. So it's a great place to live, a great place to invest, and to visit as well. So there's a lot of great opportunities there. Now, Kieran, with Saskatchewan, I've heard, and let's just zoom out here for Saskatchewan, but I've heard Saskatchewan, whatever happens in Alberta in terms of the economy, Saskatchewan's about 18 months or 24 months behind, but it'll usually affect them in the same sort of way. Have you?
So I see the Saskatchewan market being stable because it's like agriculture, farming, and like healthcare and jobs, IT, and all those the different sectors. It's not only like up and down, and so that's like whatever. I agree with you, whatever happens in Alberta, that's gonna happen in Saskatchewan too. The market is picking up, and when you see even the growth, right? Like when you see the rents like last year, year before, and rents are they're up more, and I have never seen the rents going down.
Oh, wow. And you've been investing there for over 7 years.
Yes, and then like Prince Albert is good, and you just need to um look for invest in good areas, or outside the areas which are growing. Follow the official city plans, and that's also good option. Like wherever the city has plans, invest there because now they're like more their development is going to happen in that according to that official city plans.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So yeah. So here's the Trans-Canada Highway for those of you that don't know it, running through Regina down here at the bottom. Kieran mentioned
Mhm.
Regina and then going into Moose Jaw right afterwards. Oh, I love
Mhm.
the old buildings there that they have. Um, and yeah, so that goes right through Canada, that Trans-Canada Trail there. And there's Saskatoon in the middle. And then you mentioned Prince Albert. Okay, well that's I don't hear that one come up too much. That looks like you're getting pretty far up north, but you're on par with Edmonton up there.
Yes, and there's like Lloydminster, and there's North Battleford along the major highway. Any city, those are good areas to look into.
Okay, well, we're giving away all the secrets right now to the prairies and where to invest. Now,
Yeah, like just
here,
outside Saskatoon is Langham, North Battleford.
oh, North Battleford right there. Yeah, I see it. Now,
Like
one province I really
city,
do not.
see a big portfolio. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out there. What was that?
Okay, I was saying if you have really great opportunity in smaller cities, and there's like empty units or and big portfolio, the price per unit is really good, and as long as a vacancy, on the previous rent roll for the past few years. It's good, and I don't think it's a bad, strategy to look on those smaller cities too.
Right. Well, when you were in Saskatchewan, you were neighboring onto Manitoba there. I don't often hear about Manitoba as a popular location for real estate investors. Do you know anything about Manitoba at all?
Yes, Brandon and Winnipeg. A lot of immigrants. They have really amazing immigration program. Um, that was one of the reason that people were, coming from Ontario and BC so that they can send invitation to their family members from outside the country. So Winnipeg, a lot of uh, population there, and then Sarkirk, just outside, Winnipeg, and then when you go, Port is La Prairie, and then Brandon is also big city. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Wow. And so would you consider investing in Manitoba?
So if I have Manitoba for sure. But the other thing is I need to look at the landlord trend, friendly law and how much rent I can increase if I'm doing something to the property to increase value of that property. How soon I can ask the tenants to leave, because our strategy right now is value add, and so looking at those options, and what price per unit I can get in Winnipeg and what price per unit I can get in Edmonton, and then where is the highest rent growth and population movement, where is the major markets, like major those job sectors growing. So
Right.
then like according to that I make my decision. Right now, Winnipeg, it if it's like a really amazing opportunity, really big portfolio, then we can look into, as long as it's landlord, like something for us to keep in mind that for the laws. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's exciting. And now BC. Now you're in BC. I'm in Ontario. I'm just outside of the Toronto. And we're not cash flowing in these provinces. It's very
Mm.
difficult to cash flow in here. An appreciation game, really. Now you have some properties in BC. How are those going for you? And do you consider to look in the British Columbia?
We have one property in Chilliwack, and we, according to the market, we used our the strategy. We did the furnished long-term rental for the pipeline workers. That has been growing really great, and that was covering our mortgage and our property tax and insurance. And if so, other thing is we can't really rely on one strategy. If it was not the furnished rental, it would be negative cash flow. And any multifamily, you're buying at 300 per door and the rents have not, that high, and you're buying at low cap rate, it would be negative cash flow for sure.
Yes, and was it all of BC that, no, it was just, it wasn't all of BC that introduced the STR rules, was it? Was it
It's
province-wide?
uh, the population, if it's less than 10,000, you can get away with Airbnb rules. But if it's more than those are 3 month, like Airbnb, like people coming in, living for 3 or 4 days and then moving out. But long term, when you're providing somebody furnished place long term, and it's good for tenants, somebody coming in and going,
And I've heard,
working, and it's everything is all done, and if they're comfortable paying a little bit higher rent, and it's also good strategy. It's but for throughout BC. So I think what a lot of hotels and motels were empty because they were more supply with the houses which were furnished and doing Airbnb rentals. And I think this government made a decision to help hotels and other sectors where people, can stay.
got you, all right. And I heard Fort St. John mentioned a lot. I looked in there about a year ago. What,
Yes, I am not, and same with BC too. like Fort St. John is a market. I am not quite aware what's going on economy wise. And there was some talk about like pipelines, gas pipelines like come, but those are how long they're going to stay there and how long it takes for work, and when the workers move out, what happens after that. So you need to really make a strategy that wherever you are investing, that economy, that job sector, that because your tenants need to have a job, to pay for your rent. If that job is not long term, um it gets hard. You don't want to have empty units when that short term work gets shut down. So
Yeah.
somebody who is looking for a town, look for like how long is like permanent or what's happening in those towns.
One thing I do recall about Fort St. John was that the federal government and the provincial government were spending hundreds of millions of dollars for, I believe it was pipeline and that sort of thing. So it did sound, now do everybody watching, do your own research. That's what the due diligence process is of being a real estate investor. But they were going to be spending a lot of money out there to keep the industry strong out there for quite some time. So hopefully for anybody that's invested out there is doing well, and hopefully the people are living in safe and clean conditioned housing as well.
Yes, and the other thing is I'm reading that book by Chris Davis, like apartment buildings that outgrow, and he mentioned that the investors like who have done really really good and been successful in their growing their portfolio is like everyone has that niche, like pick a specific niche what looking for your building. So you can't be like buying one building in New Brunswick and like buy another building in Alberta and buy another building in like all spread all over Canada. And it gets really hard when because you have another team for setting up your contractors, then you have another team for your realtors, another team for your tenant profile. So it's a lot of it's better to have majority of your portfolio in one city. You have your brand build up, that you are providing quality place for tenants to live, and all the realtors know that you are the buyer. If a new property comes up, you are the first person they're calling. If you have one building, like somebody else who has a bigger portfolio, they're gonna call, like Boardwalk, right, and Main Street, and they have this like niche strategies that they are buying along that educational institutions or along the major highway or along the ring road, and everybody has their specific niche, and that's how they have been able to grow their bigger portfolio. And when a tenant moves out, and then they're sending the emails that I have a place in this, and now they have more easy to fill their units.
Yes. Now you did bring up New Brunswick, so maybe we'll just wrap up and talk about New Brunswick. And I loved what you said there. So everybody listening, it's a great idea what Kiran said. Focus on an area so you can establish a strong team, and that team helps you grow, because that team, for one, the realtor out there is going to make a commission off of you, or the property manager is going to have another building to look after, so they're going to make more money. So you get a strong team and let them know that you are a serious buyer, and they're going to bring you deals. They're going to be looking for them. They're going to be doing the grunt work for you. So here we are in New Brunswick, and I know you're investing in St. John, which is just a beautiful place to invest in, and a beautiful place to visit or to live. My goodness, we had such a fun time there on the
Can
water.
you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yeah.
it's beautiful. How long have you been investing in St. John? What made you want to invest in New Brunswick?
So for New Brunswick, we picked up a town like there were two options, St. John or Moncton, two big cities. And because we thought if we are going like living in BC and we are investing in like across the country, and there needs to be a reason. the first thing was like price per unit was cheap, and there were so much inventory sitting on the market, like so many options to starting out small. And so we bought a duplex for 200K, and we had great option. Like it comes with the like it came with 50K vendor take back, and now it's a 3 bedroom up and 3 bedroom down, and we are adding units in the front, and we are changing the existing building to 8 units. So we are, like 200K property. Now we are duplex property. We're changing to eight units. If we had that opportunity doing, doing somewhere in Alberta, like buying something, cheap, where the our rents are right now like 3,800, and I would be going there. Um, and so like now another property we bought is fourplex, and now the basement we are able to add 4 more units. So
Oh, wow.
that's a strategy. We are looking for similar kind of properties in St. John. And other than St. John, Moncton, just outside Moncton, like DP is a great, deep or Shadiac, just along the highway, like Sussex and, Hampton. And as long as it's a really like a little bit bigger portfolio, so that your property manager can manage, and because you are paying the property manager fee, right? So that somebody can oversee your work. And I think like New Brunswick is a great market.
Yes, and the Hampton area, I call it the Hamptons. But Hampton is very nice there, and Richie Book too is a cute
Oh,
little
nice, nice.
town right there on the water as well. Just a slow living community, but has a fishing tourism population that spreads up every year as well. And you didn't mention Fredericton, which is a little bit away from on the other side of New Brunswick, kind of in the middle there. Do
Yeah,
you focus?
I see a lot of investors investing in Fredericton too. And so far we have not found a property that catches our eyes. But it's we need a little bit bigger building to see, because we need that, different property managers. So far we are focusing on St. John. Yeah.
Beautiful. And you haven't gone over to Oak Island looking for the treasure at all on Oak Island?
No, no.
Okay, well we'll have to go up for a trip there and we'll bring our
I
shovels and see.
would, yes, yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
Nova Scotia is becoming an investor topic right now. There's a lot of people focusing on Nova Scotia. Do you have any inkling why they're going on there?
Truro and like rental market is great. Truro and Halifax, and there's like another armed like when you make it Armhurst is good.
Amherst.
Yes, yeah, it's right. Yes, big cities, big yeah, there are hospitals there, and there were like a lot of jobs. A lot of people who are working from home, they moved in those places, because you're working from home, and why pay like so much rent? And it's like right on the ocean. It's beautiful, and the weather is great, and yeah, it's not really cold, like minus 45. Yeah, that's nice.
And there's
Yeah.
Halifax there, and there's the beautiful Peggy's Cove, which is a great place to visit. Very high tourism traffic in that area as well. I don't know what their STR regulations are out there, but it is a beautiful province
Hmm.
and good student profile as well there.
Yes, and also like a lot of immigration pilot programs, like from the government, that are supporting people to come and live, and they can get the permanent residency.
Yeah, I had friends that came to Canada, and when they came to Canada, they stayed. Halifax is where they landed. And they're in the Greater Toronto area right now, but they said their goal is to retire and move back to Halifax. They loved it so much, and they loved the people there. So
Nice.
Halifax must be doing a great job welcoming newcomers to the country. So that's
Nice.
amazing
That's
to hear.
great. Yes.
Well, we covered a lot of provinces there. Maybe next time we get together, Kiran, maybe let's cover some provinces that we didn't talk about on this one. And
For sure. I
if
would love to talk about what do you look for the location. Like sometimes for new investors, it gets really um, like overwhelming. Like where you see a fourplex there, you see a sixplex there. Like which market, and how do you pick up the market, and how do you focus? What kind of those key market indicators you need to look for when you are looking for your property.
sounds like a great topic for the next show. So stay tuned, everyone, because that is what we're going to do with this program that we have coming for you guys. Kieran
Thank
and
you.
Jim coming at
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. And send me an email if anybody is looking to connect. And we are growing, and we'll love to provide you the opportunities. And real estate is there are so many strategies people are not aware where they can grow wealth. So stay connected, and happy to hear back from you.
There's always opportunities. Don't listen to the noise and listen to a coach or somebody you trust, get a mentor, join a program, or reach out to Kieran or myself. Anytime, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank